Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of The Dog Pound. I'm your host, Sydney Myers from PhoneDog.com. I'll be telling you about all the latest news from the mobile technology world, all the happenings from last week, and a little bit from this week. So let's get started. So we're going to get started first with some Microsoft news, some Windows news, particularly Windows Phone 8. We've been waiting for a solid release date for this update, and now we're hearing that it could be coming sometime in October or November. First, a source speaking with ZDNet says that it will be made official in September, and then the phones will be released sometime in November. However, Nokia's CEO Stephen Elop says that he's expecting Windows Phone 8 in October. So kind of some conflicting reports there, but at least same basic time frame, October, November, is when we should be expecting Windows Phone 8 to be made available to the public. Now, what kind of Windows Phone 8 devices can we expect to see in this October-November timeframe? Well, in the court case between Samsung and Apple, in the documents, there are two Windows Phone 8 devices mentioned, the Samsung Odyssey and the Samsung Marco. First up, the Samsung Odyssey has a 4.65-inch HD Super AMOLED display, a 1.5 GHz dual-core Snapdragon S4 processor, and an 8-megapixel camera. So it's basically like the US version of the Galaxy S3, but with Windows Phone, which is actually pretty awesome. Now, the Samsung Marco has a slightly smaller and less impressive 4.5-inch WVGA Super AMOLED display, that same dual-core Snapdragon S4 processor, and a 5-megapixel camera. Still an awesome phone. Now, both of these phones are HSPA Plus devices, and according to these documents, we can expect them sometime in the fourth quarter of this year, which lines up with that October-November release timeframe. Now, if you want a tablet featuring Windows, then mark your calendar for October 26th. Previously, this date was known as the official release date for Windows 8, but now we also know that this will be the date whenever the Microsoft Surface will become available. This is according to a recent filing made by Microsoft to the SEC, and even though this filing doesn't specify which Surface will be made available on October 26th, we previously heard Microsoft say that the Windows RT version will be released alongside Windows 8, so we can kind of guess that October 26th will be the date that we see the Windows RT version of the Microsoft Surface, and then the Windows 8 version will be made available probably 90 days later, about 3 months later. So that's the Microsoft news. Let's move on to some Apple news. Now, for a long time, we have been seeing tons of leaked pictures of the phone, parts of the phone, images and renders of what the phone could look like, but what about release date? When are we actually going to see it? Well, the latest rumored release date is, drumroll, September 21st. We're hearing that it could be announced on September 12th at an event where the iPad mini will also be announced, but the official release will be on September 21st. Now, at this event, we're hearing that we could also see an iPod Nano and possibly an iPod Touch, but at least for now, it's pretty sure that we're going to see a new iPhone and an iPad mini, at least according to these rumors. And what will this new iPhone look like? Well, never fear, we've got plenty of renders. This is a new one where this site actually took all of these leaked parts that we've been seeing pictures of and that everyone has scattered all around. They took all of them, put them together, and built the iPhone, and so we can gather that this is probably what the new iPhone will look like. Now, it's not for sure, obviously, but based on all these parts that we've been seeing, this is probably what it's going to look like. There's also a video of someone that got their hands on other pieces of the iPhone, and they show that in this video, so you can kind of get an idea of what to expect at this September event. Nothing really surprising. It's basically what we've been seeing and hearing for the past 6 months to a year. I think it looks great. I know a lot of people aren't so hot about the design. It is kind of similar to the iPhone 4S, but hey, the iPhone 4S looks great. Let me know what you think about this design in the comments. Do you like it? Do you wish it were different? A dramatic redesign? Let me know how you feel about it in the comments below. And now from Apple to Google. Google has acquired Sparrow, a development company known for its very popular Mac and iOS email applications. Now, the bad news is that because Sparrow was acquired by Google, they're not planning on updating their applications anymore. So if you bought the Mac app for $10 or the iOS app for $3, you have a great app that will not receive any more updates or any more new features. The good news, though, is that Google may be using Sparrow to improve its iOS Gmail client, which everyone knows is basically horrible. So, you won't get any more updates. Maybe the app and the money may be wasted, but at least you can possibly expect a better Gmail experience on your iOS device. In other news, Motorola recently announced the Photon Q. Now, there are a couple of notable features about the Photon Q. One, it will ship with a user unlockable bootloader, so congratulations, happy day for you hackers. Two, it will feature a physical QWERTY keyboard, which we just don't see very often anymore. And three, it will be one of the few Android 4.0 devices that actually features on-screen virtual buttons instead of capacitive or physical buttons. This is a big deal because a lot of Android 4.0 phones these days still ship with physical buttons, even though Ice Cream Sandwich was made for virtual buttons. I don't know why they do it. It totally ruins the experience, so I'm very happy about that. But also, if you need a physical keyboard, the Photon Q will be a great option. Now, if you're on T-Mobile, here's a phone that you should be super excited about. A little while ago, we told you about the HTC Era 42, and we gathered that it could be another phone in the G line of phones, the iconic flagship Android phones on T-Mobile. But now we're hearing that this phone could be called the HTC One X Plus. It'll be basically like the One X on AT&T, except it will have a 1.7 gigahertz quad-core Tegra 3 processor. This is a big deal because, one, it's quad-core, two, because there aren't any quad-core phones in the US yet. So we're hearing that we could be expecting this phone on September 26th. Everything is still rumor and speculation for now, but definitely exciting. Mark your calendars and keep your eyes open for more details on that phone. So that's the news and that's the show. Thanks guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment below on, whatever. I don't know. Tell me about your dog or your life or your friends. That way I can, pretend that they're my friends and I don't have to just talk to myself all day. I'm pretty much talking to myself right now. I'm talking to a camera, but there's no one there, so it's basically like, anyway. And I will see you guys later. Bye.